Hey guys, it's Yvette and welcome to Vlogmas Day 29, and we are getting closer and closer to the end of the year. And speaking of the end of the year, don't forget that Stephanie and I will be ringing in the new year with a sewing project, and that's going to take place on Friday, December 31st. We're going to start at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we're going to attempt to go through 12:30 a.m. That's our goal. I'm not really sure how long we're going to go, but that's our goal. And so come and join us. You can start late, leave early, whatever you need to do. No rules. You don't even have to sew what we're sewing. However, I do have a free pattern that I am offering that we are going to be sewing. It's basically a friendship block, and I have designed it to be foundation paper piecing, and it also mentions some AccuQuilt dies. So if you are an AccuQuilt fan, you can definitely look at the dies that I'm using to cut my fabric, and it makes real short work of cutting fabric for your projects. So the first thing I'm going to do tonight, so that I don't forget to do it, well, first I want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. I plan in the new year to do a whole lot more sewing on YouTube, whether it be live or videos with patterns that I will have on offer. Some of them may be purchasable and some may be free. I've been doing actually a whole lot of free patterns this month, so go and check out my shop and look under freebies. You'll see anything that I'm offering up for free at this time, and I'm also having some great sales, so why don't you check that out. Okay, so next item of business is the winner of my drawstring bag that I just made, and I'm going to stuff it full of goodies that I like, that are some of my favorite things. And the winner of the drawstring bag is Amy C. I am gonna put her post right up here. Amy, when you see this, please send me an email. You can send it to Yvette at YvetteReneCreations.com and give me your address so that I can mail it to you. Jellybean, I promise I won't let Jellybean eat your prize. He's just excited about the straps or the drawstrings. And now he's excited about my neck control. Y'all, is that not the most cute? This came in the Crimson Tape box. I am so super stoked to get this little neck control. You have no idea. Anyway, Jellybean, stop playing with that. You see, he's like a dog with a bone. He's going to keep doing it. Nope, I hid it away from you now. Okay, so I'm going to be continuing on the AccuQuilt pattern. Jellybean, what are you doing? I'm so sorry. He must have like just had his Wheaties and a nap. I don't know. So I'm going to continue on that. On yesterday's Vlogmas video, I did show you all of my new AccuQuilt goodies, and I showed you the dies that I'm going to be using to cut the fabric for the quilt. The quilt is a free pattern that I'm offering on my website, so you can go over and check that out. It's in my shop. It is free. Just go straight on through to checkout and just check out with a zero balance. It'll be fine. Kind of getting a little frog here. And so anyways, I'll be working on that. I'm going to start tonight. I'm going to cut the fabric, and I'll show you how I'm doing that with my AccuQuilt. And then we're gonna, it's not gonna be finished by the time Vlogmas is over. I plan on having some sort of either weekly or bi-weekly or something like that little videos and stuff like that using my AccuQuilt dies, so you'll see how I've been using the machine and the dies and making quilts and stuff like that. So that will continue on for probably at least a couple weeks, depending on how long it takes me to sew them, because I'm kind of a slow sewer. But we'll get that done, and I'll be having you sew along with me. Before we get there, I'm going to open up my Cotton Cuts Rosa's Holiday Your Way box and see what we've received for the 29th of December. Okay. Here's the box. I know it's very familiar to you by now. It's getting very, very light. Okay. So here is the bag for the 29th. Let's see what our back order is. Okie dokie. The saying says, mistakes are proof you are trying. There you go. And now we have this fat quarter, and that's very interesting. I wonder if it's related to the one we got yesterday. Let's see if there's any selvage in here. Of course not. There's no selvage in there. So I still have the one from yesterday sitting right here because I haven't put it on the shelf yet. But those go together kind of well, I guess. I really like this one. This one's okay, but I'm really liking this one. So, okay, so those are our fat quarters. That's the fat quarter that we got today. And I'm going to close this up, and then I'm going to head over to the cutting mat where I'm going to have my AccuQuilt Go Big Electric set up, and we're going to start cutting the fabric. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so here is the pattern that I am providing to you guys for free. And so when you download it, you don't have to print every single page. You can if you'd like. I do go ahead and make it up as if you're going to print it up and like put it in a Ziploc or something. So anyways, here's the pattern. And on the first page, there are going to be some just basic instructions about quilting, reading the pattern, some foundation paper piecing tips, and some notions that you may want to consider. The next page is the fabric requirement page. Now you can see I've already gone through and I've cut my fabric out, which is all right here. And as I said, these are all art gallery fabrics, but you don't have to do, you don't have to use these fabrics. I'm just showing you that if you want it to look like that, these are the exact fabrics I used. So it's just like an FYI. Okay, so each one you can see has a letter next to it. And what I did was I took that, and I have this master coloring sheet. This master one has all of the letters inside the squares so that you know where to place each color. Let me move this over a little bit. Maybe try to get a little more light right here. Okay, so gonna have everything getting all mixed up here. So if you start up here in the top left, you can see that this is going to be A, B, C, D, E, and then it'll go back to D, C, and B. Okay, so this is so that you know where to place your colors. Okay, so this is a starting point. And then what you might want to do is, what I've done here is I've already gone through and I counted how many of each one you would need, okay? And then I went and I saw each individual way, like color way that each square is, so you'd know how many to build. And that's all in here already for you guys. You don't have to do that part. There is a, let's see, I think I have one over here, maybe. Okay, yes. So I have a blank color sheet, so without the letters in it. And then what this is for is you can take this and color it in the way you want it to look, and then correspond these letters to the fabric. And then you know how much to cut of each one. Okay, so this is kind of like a quilt puzzle is what I'm calling it. Okay, so I've already done the hard part for you. All you need to do is come over to your cutting instructions, and it'll tell you from fabric A, you're going to need to cut 12 kites and 8 triangles. And that's going to be using the Go Cube. Now, what I can do is, you know, if you don't have the cube, or you want to just do all the hand cutting yourself, it would obviously be a little more tedious, but I can get those measurements for you so that you can cut them out. But basically we're using number 13 die and number 15 die out of the cube set, and this is the companion set for the 12-inch block. Okay, so from each fabric, it tells you how many kites and how many triangles. Okay, so it's all, I've done all of that for you. Then what you're going to do is you are going to take the templates, and this is how it's going to go together, right? You'll be making each one, and the one that you see is going to have all of the letters in it. This is just my first draft, so I hadn't done that yet. But you'll see it's going to look like this. And once you sew up this side and this side, then you'll be joining those for one square. Okay. Okay, now what you need to remember is that in FPP, everything is backward. Okay, so if you're looking at your master coloring sheet and you're doing this block here, then what you're going to want to do is imagine it flipped, right? Because this template is going to be flipped over, like the other side is going to be the pretty side. So that means that this A is going to go up here, and then this will be B, and this will be C, that's D, that's E, and then you'll have D and C and B, and then back to A again. So it's just going the opposite direction. Okay, so if you're seeing the A over on the top left, you're going to want to put it on the top right, and then you're going to want to go around in that. It's basically just seeing it backwards. Now, if you're not making a pattern to look like this, then you don't need to be too worried about it. Depending on how you're going to place your fabrics. Just remember that if you want it to look like this, you just need to flip it and make it backwards. And, you know, as long as you're just going in the opposite direction, you'll be just fine. And I'll be sewing this along with you, so you'll be seeing what I'm doing as well. Okay. So let's get started cutting the fabrics with our dies. Let me just move everything out of the way for right now. And I'm just going to get out my cheat sheet for cutting the fabrics. There it is. That's the only sheet I need right now. Okay, so I am going to, and this is the order. I put all of my fabrics in order so that I can go and just, you know, methodically do it. All right, scooch my fabric over and put this over here for right now. I'm going to grab my Go Electric. Here it is. I'm going to open it up. Let's get this little guy's plugged in. Okay. Yep, okay, perfect. I'm going to turn it on. And first I'm going to, let's do the kites, which are in this one. It's hard to go up. I don't have that much arm strength. Okay, so I'm going to get out my kite. And need to get the cutting mat, which is in here. I'll get that out. Okay. Now I just need to unwrap it. As you know, I just got it yesterday, so I haven't used any of these yet. I'm super excited. They do wrap them good, I'll tell you that. Okay, there we go. And I will just put this to the side for now. Okay, so as you can see, like if I were to take my template, if I can find it. Okay, so this is like one of the kites, and you can see, like if I took a pair of paper scissors and just cut this out, and because it's like a, you know, it's a geometric shape, it's a very, you know, set triangle type template, it's going to be easier to... Okay, so I've cut exactly, okay, but we're looking for it to be a 1/4 inch larger all the way around. So this one is a little bit bigger, but for those of us who are new at paper piecing, this will help to make sure that you have plenty of fabric all around each piece, and you won't, you know, try to join things on and go, oh my gosh, it's too small. Okay, that'll never happen. This is going to be a nice big template, and so we're going to go ahead and cut from our fabric A. We need 12 of these, okay? So I'm going to pull out my A fabric, which is crystalline. And you can do up to 6 layers. So I wish I had more room, like to in the camera, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is, let me see. Because I don't want to use, I just want to use as much fabric as I need. I don't want to put like a whole bunch through there. Okay, so this is a 4.5 inch ruler, and you can see it sticks out just a little bit. So I want to, I'm probably going to, that's 4.5. So I'm going to do like a 5 inch piece. So let me get a ruler that'll go 5 inches. Here we go. All right, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I'm going to cut it over to the side here. All right. I am just going to, I love this electric, this big electric, but he's really big. Okay. So let me just take this, and I'm going to measure 5 inches. And really, since that's a little bit larger than what we actually need, you don't have to like go crazy trying to make things, you know, so perfect, because you just need to make sure that you can cover the piece, right? So the 5 inches will be fine. Do 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 do. I'm just getting these ready. Okay, so now let me see, if I kind of took this and measured the kite, we would be looking at, I would probably do like 10 inches just to be on the safe side. And let me try to kind of do that. Just want to make sure I don't get the selvage in there. 10 inches. Okay, there's that. Okay, so the pieces are going to be, I'm just going to leave them a little bit bigger because it's not going to change anything. So I'm basically just going to cut the 10 inches. It might be better if I flip over to for the selvage. And there's the 10. kind of want to see the selvage so I don't cut off, leave it on there. Okay, that's good. Okay, so let me scooch this back over, make it better so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so that's going to be 2, 4, 6. Okay, we could do 6 at a time. So now I'm just going to pass that through. Okay, so then I will take off. Every once in a while you get like a little hiccup there. I do have some fabric scissors. And just cut right on there. It's probably only like 1 or 2 little pieces, but I'm gonna just kind of use my scissors. And see, it's like 1 little string that's caught. Okay, so now we have 6 right there. And then I'm gonna take 1, or this is 2, 4, and 6. Okay. And now we're just going to pass that through. Probably have to do the same thing, those same little spots. Boop. And then right there. Oop. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now what I would do, I of course I'm not prepared for this, I should have been, but what I would do is, since these are the A kites that we need, if you have like some alphabetties, or you can hand make either with just pieces of paper or whatever's going to be convenient for you. It really doesn't matter as long as you just label these A. And, you know, if it's going to be easy for you to remember without labeling, that's fine. I'm just saying that in order to keep everything organized, if you'd like to do that, you can just label them up. So this is my A kites. And now I am going to need the triangles. So let me get that out. And they're in here. Yeah, here it is. All right, so I'm gonna get that guy out. And he's over here. It's called Triangles in a Square. And let me just open it up. Save this guy to the side. Okay, and so now we are going to cut 8 triangles. And okay, I didn't do that very smartly because I used all my fabric. I probably cut it all wrong. Okay, so obviously I won't be able to do that right now. Let me move forward to fabric B, and I'm going to cut 8 triangles from B, which is it's my cotton candy. Okay, let's do a better job of cutting this. And honestly, you don't even have to really do that. You could just slide it through, just like that, right? You could just put it on there, just like that, making sure you're not getting the selvage or whatever. You know, whatever. I'm basically right now, I'm just trying to rush through it so that I can show you without having a video that's like, you know, 4 hours long. So let me try a different tactic this time. Because really, the AccuQuilt, if you find great ways like this to use it to cut your fabric, it can save you some fabric. Not always. I mean, in my experience, just because of the way I do things, it doesn't always, you know, mean that it's going to be perfect. And so what you can do is, especially because these are like triangles, right now, I'm going to try to be really smart about it, where you can like take your fabric and like flip it around, right? So then you're definitely being really smart about your cutting. So, and it depends on how much time you have. Like that's usually what my issue is that I don't have extra time. But you can definitely just cut your piece pretty much to right there. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take, okay, well, I can't find my friction pin. Y'all know I'm in the middle of like cleaning my area, right? And I'm like, so I'm just going to use a regular pin. It really doesn't, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see that. And so then I'm just going to take my scissors and going to cut it across. And I'm being very, very loose right now. Okay. So like if you cut it more precisely than I did obviously on the kites, then you can just have it cover the area of where your piece was. And what did I do with the mat? Oh my goodness, it's right underneath it, y'all. I can hear y'all right now screaming at me. So I'll show you how you can just have it be very, like right over it. And then what it'll do is it'll just perfect that for you. So as you can see, it's just going to, okay, where's my scissors? Every once in a while you just get a little string. Boop. And right now, I mean, I'm not really paying very much attention to grain, but with foundation paper piecing, it's not really something you need to worry about all the time because you are sewing it to the paper. So that gives it its stability and it's not going to go stretching out. Okay, so there's one of them, and you can see it basically just, it puts all the little dog ears in. So if you were going to be piecing traditionally, then these little dog ear guys would really help you out in joining all of your triangles and, you know, the kites and all of that kind of thing. Okay, so that's basically how we would do that. And I'm kind of, like at this point, I kind of want to take the time to cut a little bit better so that I'm not, you know, well, I don't really end up wasting a bunch of fabric because I will give it to people who like to use scraps and stuff like that. But it would be better if I didn't have to go and cut a whole bunch of fabric again. Let me see. What am I going to do here? This one, it is, I could probably cut 7 inches. So let me try to do that. This might be, I probably can just follow this line because that went okay. And I have to tell you, the people who say that, you know, quilters are messy or whatever, I never was messy before, but boy, I tell you what, I can be pretty messy right now. I just, because I have too much stuff everywhere. I'm going to keep y'all up to date on my progress of cleaning the room, because there were a lot of people who expressed interest in that. Okay, that's 6.5. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball 7. And before anyone asks, no, I did not press this before I started cutting it. So typically for me, whenever I'm using fabric, I tend to use best press on it, especially on art gallery like this, because art gallery it's very soft, and so it kind of needs sometimes it'll be a whole lot easier if you give it a little bit of body, so that it's easier to sew with it. All right. Let me just see. I'm gonna need to count. I need 8 triangles. So I have 1. And this is, oh, it's like 7 by 7, sort of. Okay. So I try to just, but that's not really going to help me. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. I should probably, see what I did was when I put this through AccuQuilt, which is a design program, it tells you how much yardage you need. So I probably need to go back in here and maybe update the yardage that you need. And if I need to do that, I will. And you can always go and get an updated version of the pattern. All right, so that's 4. Six. 7. And 8. Okay. I'm just going to lay it up, just make sure I'm covering up the dark gray part. Oh yeah, we're good. Oh, it's good. Okay. All right, I'm gonna pass 3 through and let's see how that goes. I didn't put it on top there. What did I do with it? Y'all, I do this every time. Who else does this? Seriously, somebody else has to do this. It's not just me. Oh, here, it's right under here. Okay, here we go. Probably need my scissors. Yep. Little big guy there. And right there. Okay. So now we have, where's that first one? There it is. So now we have 4. Oops. It's so floppy. That's good. Put that up there a little bit. Ooh. Oh, I keep forgetting this little piece is just folded over. I was like, what happened? Okay. And this is 4 pieces. So go ahead and pass that through. Just trying to hold my fabric down. Okay. Okay, so I've passed through some of the triangles and also some of the kites. And so basically all you need to do is go through each color and cut out as many kites and triangles as they all have listed here. And then you can keep them all in, like label all of them fabric A, fabric B, fabric C, just so that you keep them separated. And it's a whole lot easier to do it that way than to try to keep your color, like your fabric requirements sitting right there. I mean, they are right here. But if you just have all of these labeled, be a whole lot easier. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start doing the actual paper piecing. So between today and tomorrow, hopefully we can get these cut, or at least get started on cutting them so that we can start putting some of these blocks together. And I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Come on back and we're gonna take up where we left off. Thank you so much for coming and continuing to come every day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.